Hey there, my friends. It's Jen Pitta with By the Shore Stamping. Welcome into another edition of Teach Me Tuesday. Today, actually, I have a fun little project that I can share with you. It is something I actually found when I was cleaning out. So you can see this is Easter 2010, and this is some old Stampin' Up! Supplies here. So it's not a current product item. This was actually one of the Simply Scrappin' kits, I believe, that I put into a little mini photo album, matchbook style, for Easter in 2010. So I found this when I was cleaning out my drawers the other day, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to recreate this using new stuff, and I think it's really a great thing to do right now because it's super simple. It just takes 3 pieces of paper to make the actual matchbook album part of this, and then it's just decorating. So it's super fast and easy, and I thought it would be a really cute thing for people to do to kind of keep in touch with family members who you may not be seeing much of these days. Because what's really neat is this will actually fit in an envelope, in our medium-sized envelope. It is a little bit tight, so you will have to kind of seal it really well with some washi tape or something, but it will fit in the envelope. It's of course going to cost you a little bit more to mail, but you could put pictures and things in it to kind of share with family and friends right now that may not be able to see the kids and the grandkids and things like that. So that is what I'm going to show you today, and I can promise you it's super fast. So I used the woven threads or woven heirlooms suite. This is the paper, which is gorgeous, and it's one that I had to have, and then I completely forgot about it. So I pulled that out because I thought it was kind of Eastery, although I'm not really sure I'm going to use my album for Easter. I didn't really take any pictures for Easter, so I'm thinking I'll use it for something else. It could be a really great wedding kind of thing too, if you wanted to send a little memento book to somebody for that, or just everyday life honestly would work as well. So I'm not going to really show you how I decorated the whole thing. I did actually decorate mine using all of the paper. Really simple decorating, just kind of photo mats and some little accent pieces, but I will show you how I put it together, and then also I'll just do the decoration for the front too. I used a little bit different paper, so just to kind of keep it a little interesting. But you're going to start with a piece of cardstock that is 11 by 4 1/4. So this is what else is really cool about this is you can use all of this from like one sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. You can actually get 2 bases from, and then it's right in half. So 4 1/4 by 11 will get you the base, and then you're going to score it. I believe, I'm going to wing it here, I believe it was 4.5 and then 11. So I'm going to slide it all the way over. I'm sorry, not 11, 10. You want an inch. Sorry. Okay, so 4.5 and 10 will get you the base piece. And then you're just going to fold that on the folds. One goes down to create kind of the cover, and then this one goes up to create kind of the latch. So there's that. Okay, so there's the base of it, right? Then you're going to take 2 pieces of cardstock, and you can make them the same. I made them different. I made Pretty Peacock and Whisper White. So this one is 8.5 by 4. And so you're going to cut 2 pieces at 8.5 by 4, and then you're going to score them both at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to take my Stampin' trimmer here, line that up with 4 1/4, and I'll score that one. I'll score this one. And honestly, I don't remember if I got this idea from somebody else, probably, but it was so long ago that I have no idea. So I may be rehashing a very old project here, but this is it. That's all you need to make this album, is those 3 simple pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and score this as well. I'm not sorry, not score, burnish. I'm going to fold it in half on the score line. Okay, get them to sit nice and flat, and then I'll tuck one inside the other, and then this one I'm going to tuck right inside here. And you can see it's just slightly smaller so that it will fit inside. And then I used my 1/16 punch, which is basically the punch for brads, when we used to have brads. So Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry this punch anymore, but I still have mine sticking around because I just wanted a little tiny hole. You could use a larger punch if you wanted to. I'm just going to go in as far as I can on each side, and just punch a little hole. Whoops. Oh dear. That was not good. I misaligned it here. There's that. And let's see if I can get it lined up again. Yeah, that looks good. And then I'm going to do the other side here. What I was trying to fix, and when I messed it up, is that this side is a little off. There we go. And I'm just going to do one on that side. There you go. So those are really tiny holes, you can see, but I didn't really want it to show too much. You could do larger holes and do larger ribbon, but I'm just using baker's twine, and it does take a little bit of patience to get this threaded through. So I'm just gonna, I thread it through one at a time because it seems to go a little bit easier. And you want to thread in from the inside on both sides, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Let me just get these kind of pushed through here. There's one, and get two. There is two, so we'll pull those together, and then three here. And it doesn't really matter if it's not perfectly lined up. If you noticed, these are not. And then I'm just going to pull this all the way through and get them lined up. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this side, and I'm going to thread again. So this is what I meant. I'm going to thread from the inside again on this one because I want to tie the bow on the outside, and I don't want this to actually have anything interfering in the middle. It's just going to show up as a nice tight white core here inside. Whoops, I missed. There we go. So again, if you want to, you can certainly use a larger hole punch so you don't have that fraying issue that I'm having here, but it will all even out, I promise. So let me just get that. I'm trying not to stop the video, but I may have to because it's being a little honoring. And I'm going to use my, where did I put it? I'll use this one because I don't know where the other one went. I'm going to use this to actually, I'm going to trim off a little bit here because it got really frayed. There we go. Try that again. Okay. Then I'll push this through. Maybe. Sorry, I kind of pulled it off the screen a little bit here because I can't see it. There we go. All right, flip this around. Let's make sure I don't lose my other side. And then the final one here. And, oh, there we go. That one went nice and easy. Okay, so now the trick is to get them all lined up straight, right on that fold. And I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to pull this really tight so it keeps it all together. And then it may be handy, if you're not very good at keeping everything together here, to have somebody hold that really tight for you. I'm using my middle finger and tying with my other two. Just to make sure that stays really tight so it stays put together. And then I'm just going to tie a bow. And I can trim it down a little bit. I don't want a giant bow. I'm just going to do a little one here. Like that. And do that. Okay, so now we have our little booklet in place. So there's the basic gist of the booklet. I'm going to just do a nice crease on this, trying not to untie my bow. And then I'm going to use just a regular stapler to staple down here. Just two little spots. Keep that together. Okay. So there we have the basis of our book. So you can see that you have the little folds here. And everything's kind of kept together by that string. Okay, so now I cut myself some stuff to decorate the front. So first up, I'm going to just decorate this top half, and I'm changing it up from the one I did in my sample a little bit. I'm using a piece of vellum. This is I believe it's 4 by 3 3/4. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 4 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to make sure I stick my adhesive in the middle because I don't want it to show. So I'm just going to put that right here and make sure that's nice and attached. And then I'm taking a piece of pattern paper, and this is the one that's 4 by 3 3/4, and I'm just going to tape that down. And again, I'm using the same woven threads or woven heirlooms paper. So I'm going to stick that down there. And then I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock that is 2.5 by 3 3/4, and I'm just going to tape that right across the center. Okay, and then I have another piece of pattern paper. It's just the back side of the other one, and this one is 2 1/4 by 3.5. And I'm just going to layer that right inside here. Like that. And then I used the Painted Labels dies from the Poppy Suite in the mini catalog, which right now is still not orderable as these dies are on back order and come from China. So they're still kind of recouping from the whole COVID-19 getting caught back up with production. So there's that. And then I have just a piece of Whisper White, and I'm using the sentiment from Peaceful Moments, which says these are the moments we'll look back on with joy. I thought that was appropriate. And I'm just going to use some crumb cake ink. Got cat hair all over this. And then I'm going to put that right in the middle. And it doesn't matter if it's straight or not because I'm going to punch it out with the 2-inch circle punch, which I have right here. I like the punches because you can actually stamp first and then punch it out after, which is what I did here. And then I just popped this on a little bit askew using dimensionals. So I like to do 3 dimensionals on a circle, so I do it in a triangle. 1, 2, 3. And I'm just going to kind of put that off to the side a little bit, like that. And then I used the little flowers from the In the Tropics dies, which is part of the the Tropical Oasis suite. And I'm just going to stick those on with some glue dots. Where did that other one go? Oh, here it is. So I have some glue dots handy. Oh, and I forgot to cut one little piece. So I'm going to take the flowers and just kind of sprinkle them onto the card. And stick that one down here, and then stick this one here. And I like to kind of just pick up the edges a little bit, give them some dimension, make them look a little more 3D. Of course, if you're going to mail it in an envelope, they're going to get a little smushed anyway, but they'll still keep a little bit of their 3D effect. Then I'm just going to take a few of the rhinestones here and embellish the center of these flowers. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool because it makes its life so much easier. Like that. There. Okay. And there we have that, but what I did forget was the bottom. So I just used a 1/2-inch strip, I believe, of the crumb cake pattern, wherever that is. Here we go. This one going to use just a 1/2 inch strip just to cover those. Actually, it looks like I might have used a little bit bigger. I lied. It's 3/4 of an inch. It's just to cover those staples. So, and this measures 4 1/4. So I'm going to do 3/4 by 4 1/4 for that. And then I'm just going to layer that right over the bottom here so it covers the staples. Okay. Like that. And then I used the Seaside Spray ribbon just to kind of fluff it up a little bit. And all I did was I took my regular adhesive and ran that right across the front there. Tacked this down on top of it. Like that. Trimmed it really close here. Just enough to kind of fold over. And I took a mini glue dot. And I just tucked that underneath there on this side so that then I can fold that ribbon into the mini glue dot and it will stay put. Okay, and I did the same thing on the other side, so I just picked up a little glue dot here, turned it over, put the glue dot inside here on the matchbook part, and then just taped that together like that. And there you have the finished little album. And now you just have to kind of decorate it and do the layers here. So I'm not going to do that in the video because that takes a little bit of time to do, but you can see I did it here and made all the little pages coordinate. So you can now just add some photos and some little notes and send that along to somebody to brighten their day a little bit. So I hope you like that quick little mini album that you can actually mail as well. I thought it was a cute idea after some of you may have had maybe Easter this past weekend, and I know a few of my friends were posting pictures of their Easter at home with the kids still all, you know, done up, but the grandparents and whatnot probably weren't able to come visit. So I thought it might be a cute little project to put together and send off to them with some cute pictures from Easter or from anything. I mean, it might be kind of fun to document the quarantine either as well. So whatever you find would be a fun way to use this little matchbook album. Matchbook album. I thought that would be a fun thing to share today. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to click like below, and also even better would be to click subscribe. I always love to see that. It makes my day, and I hope you're having a safe and healthy week, and we'll see you again next week for another edition of Teach Me Tuesday. Have a great week. Bye.